Hi guys, I'm just going to show you the Caisson AZ4 mount. So this is another option that you could get instead of getting the EQ4 Caisson mount. I would say that the Caisson EQ4 mount is a little bit more stronger. It of course it does equatorial, and you have the additional height, which you're going to require if you get a long focal length instrument. But if you're not using a particularly long instrument and it isn't quite that heavy, this is a tremendously practical mount. I'll just show you how quickly this sets up. So first of all, you undo the tops. You pull out the tripod legs, tighten them up. Okay, what you do then is you spread out you spread out the legs, put on the cap, and there you have it. It's pretty much set up. If you want to, you can then level it a little bit furthermore by just adjusting the legs the way that you want them so that everything's nice and level. I'd probably be not quite happy with that. We are on a little bit of a slope. It is AZ, so absolute critical leveling is not important. It's just so that it's all nicely in the middle and it spreads the load. That's pretty much your only consideration that you're going to have. Next, you would attach on the AZ4 counterweight bar. There we go. Now, the next thing that we're interested in is putting a nice scope on here. So what do we got? Well, what I'm going to put on today is what we think is a really nice match. This is a Caisson 102mm f6 instrument. So it's quite a large aperture instrument. It also features an aperture cap which will stop this down to 80mm and extend the focal length of the telescope, making it a very, very versatile one. Also, it has got a retractable U shield, so it's pretty awesome. It's got a 2-inch focuser, which is very smooth. It's very solid, and you also have got the fine focuser function that you have here. As I explained, it is 2-inch. It comes with both 1.25-inch and 2-inch adapters. It is fairly hefty, but this mount can easily take it. It has got a double saddle, which means there's two fastening connections that it uses. May as well level that up. Whichever way, doesn't matter too much. We'll go this way. You put that in firmly in the middle. I showed this off also in my video with the EQ4. You do need to balance it, balance the mount. I'm just going to demonstrate how to do that. So you'll notice if I were to let go, it would immediately flop to the left. So that tells us that it needs to go more that way. So I would loosen the rings a little bit, not so much to really have them come out, but just so that I'm able to move that telescope. You see it's still going a bit, so I need to pull that out a little bit more. How's that? It feels about right. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I'll fasten the rings back up again. All right. Now the next question. Does this scope require a counterweight? Well, actually, let me just level this up as well. There we are. That will make it a bit more easier to use as well. Does it need a counterweight? Well, to do that, I might push here on the other side and just determine if it's balanced. I can tell it's not. I think this would do quite well with an additional counterweight. So I'm going to add one. Found the counterweight. So these are really cool. You just have to, there's no screws required or Phillips screwdrivers or anything. You just remove it with your fingers and you grab this one, you pop it on. Okay, now where is it? Where's that point? Where's that sweet balance point? I'd say it's about there. So I tighten it up. I add this just in case it flips off or something comes loose. I'm not going to lose it. And I'm almost ready to go. Look at that. I can just tell that that's fairly nicely balanced. I reckon maybe just another few mils. Yeah, I can just feel that going really smoothly. That's going to work really well. The next thing I want to do is I want to put on some slow motion controls. You know what? Even though this is only f6, I love these much longer slow motion controllers. Let me pop them on. Now one here. And we put another one on the other connector. Make sure you attach them on the side where there's a notch so they don't slip. There we go. Now, I would tighten it. So you tighten this up here. Once you tighten it properly, that will lock it in so that the slow motion controls can take over, okay? So same thing here, lock it in. Now that it's locked in, I'm just going to loosen it and spin it over so you can see what I'm doing here. So this is locked, that's locked, and once it is, you can use these slow motion controls just to make very slight movements so that you can very easily track an object that's moving. And you'll probably need to use this one as well. All right, and that just moves it left and right. This one tunes it up and down. So the idea is that when you're busy observing, like this at the eyepiece, okay, you don't need to go like this or like this to try and adjust anything. You've just got those two there, very natural. You'll figure out which one is which, and you can just use that to track an object. It's a delightful mount. It is so easy to set up. It just pops together. You've got that ring which holds it. You've got a counterweight system built in, and you saw how important the counterweight system was even for an AZ4. It just makes that spin so much better, all right, with using it. And as far as the scope itself goes, I mean, you've got gorgeous red rings. It's a fully metal construction. You've got a great aperture at the front. It's extremely portable with that retractable dew shield. I mean, what more do you want? And I think, you know what? I think it even, yeah, it does. It comes even with a case and a solar filter that is built in as well. So I'll just demonstrate that one. So you have a solar filter here. By the way, if you're doing any sort of solar, you need to do additional investigation. You need to be aware of the risks. You need to do certain checks beforehand. You use it. This is the filter here. It has got safety glass as well as the filter. You take this one off and you insert that one on top. Obviously, you take the plastic off. I mean, no one's a complete idiot, I hope. And then you'll be right to go. All right. So it comes with fantastic inclusions. Just a really marvelous little instrument, and what a great mount to go with it. It really is a delight to use and set up. So I hope you've enjoyed that demonstration of the Cason AZ4. I do want to point out as well that the Cason AZ4 is an improvement over the AZ3, which looks similar but is different. The AZ4 has got additional internal reinforcement that will allow it to take heavier loads. The original one will only take, I think, 3.5 kilograms, which is still pretty good. But this one here will go 6, 7. I've even had about 8 on here. But I have to say it didn't work that well with 8. If you're going to put something with 8 on, you need to really get, I think, the EQ4 or maybe an even heavier mount. Come and talk to us here at AstroDog about your situation, or if you have any questions, and we'll be pleased to help you. So I'm not a professional YouTuber by any means. I probably haven't said like and subscribe anywhere near enough. We've probably forgotten it until now. We try to represent our products the way they are, the way that the customer would use them. That's why we try and show as well the setup process for these, so that you know what you're going to be in for when you buy one of these, and so that you know what you're getting. So I hope it's been helpful to you, and I want to thank you for your support and helping us set up over the past few years. It's a pleasure, and hopefully we'll be able to continue looking after you as well as we have. Thanks, have a wonderful day, and clear skies.